Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So my groupmate and I will present about financial accounting and reporting of a sole trader. So as you can see, this is my groupmate's name, which is me, Puteriayuni, Nurliahasyikin, Amalina'Isyah, Sitidamia and Mirza Arfa. So let's begin our presentation with business background. The business that we choose is Aurora Coffee House. The business is selling dessert, pastry and coffee. The location of the business is at 53 Jalan Pantai Sura, Kampung Surajati 23000 Kuala Lumpur, Terengganu. The capital of this business is 55,000 plus. Next, I will present about Aurora Coffee House business activities. In December 2016, the owner started registering the business. He started a business with capital raise as a result of working oil and gas and other two works. The business spreading by mouth to mouth from the first-time customer to their relatives and friends. After a few months, he noticed that the number of customers who came to the coffee shop is increasing. Sales of his business also increased. So that he added more equipment like coffee machine, tables to improve his business so that he can give his best to the customers. After 6 months, he handled the business alone. He hired a staff, the one who is under his trust, to control the business since he got another works to do, so that he don't need to come to the coffee shop every day.
Next, I am Nurliahasyikin will present the business characteristic of Aurora Coffee House. The first business characteristic is registration. Mr. Reza Rasdi, as the founder of Aurora Coffee House, was registered with the Business Registrar under the Business Registration Act 1957. Ownership is the second of business characteristic. The business owned by one person. Thirdly, the business characteristic is capital contribution. The business was contributed by the sole owner is Mr. Reza Rasdi. Next is liability. As the sole proprietor, the liability is unlimited. If the business fails and the assets are not enough to cover the debt, the creditor have a right against the owner personal properties. Besides that, as the owner proprietor is no legal obligation to keep accounting books and prepare accounts. In addition, Aurora Coffee House was managed and controlled by Mr. Reza Rasdi, the owner. Lastly, is profit or loss sharing. As the sole proprietor, all profit will belong to the sole owner and any loss will be solely borne by one individual.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Mirza Arfa. So today I will continue these presentations, which is about the classifications of business item. Classifications of business item are divided into several types, which is assets, expenses, liability, capital, and revenue. So I will explain about asset first, as we know that assets are the resource owned and used by the business in its operations with expectations to provide future benefits. There are several types of assets. First, non-current asset. Non-current assets in business is bought not for resale, but to be used in the operations of the business. For example, Aurora Coffee House has coffee machines, freezer, furniture, business land, and office equipment that will be used to run the business. Next, current asset. Current assets are assets that are either cash or those that can be converted into cash within 1 year. For example, Aurora Coffee House has mini merchandise, which the owner think it will be bought by customer when they come. Also, there are several examples more that are expected as current assets in Aurora Coffee House, which is cash in hand or cash at the bank. Secondly, I will explain about liability. As we know, liability are a fund supplied by external parties to the business for the acquisitions of assets. There are two types of liability, namely non-current liabilities and current liabilities. Non-current liabilities is also known as long-term liabilities, and current liabilities are a debt and obligations that payable within 1 year. So, owner of the Aurora Coffee House did not make any loan to run a business, but he only made monthly payment for a business land. Next, capital. In business, capital is the resource contributed by the owner. It is the amount of investment made by the owner, for instance, cash contributions or other kinds of assets brought into the business as a capital. So for Aurora Coffee House, the owner bring about 55,000 ringgit to start the business. Next is revenue. Revenue is a money or sales that is generated from the business operations activities. So Aurora Coffee House accept the sales depending on the customers who come in a month, which is around 100,000 per month. And lastly, I will explain about expenses. Expenses is the cost of service used in the process of earning sales. For example, Aurora Coffee House have several expenses that the owner need to pay to run a business, which is salaries for their workers, pastry ingredients expenses, water and electricity, also another miscellaneous expenses. So far, that's all from me. I leave these presentations to the next group members.
Assalamualaikum, I am Amalina'Isyah binti Anwar. I would like to talk about recording process of the business and financial statement. Recording process of the business is the basic steps in the recording process are analyzed each transaction in terms of its effects on the account. Enter the transaction information in a journal and transfer journal information to appropriate accounts in the ledger. There are 8 steps of the recording process of the business. First, identifying transactions. Second, record transaction in a journal. Third, posting. Fourth, unadjusted trial balance. Fifth, worksheet. 6. Adjusting journal entries. 7. Financial statements. And the last one, closing the books. Financial statements are written records that convey the business activities and the financial performance of company. Based on my observation at Aurora Cafe, they record their business by using the Word, Excel, and Ledger. They use the Excel for record their daily sales and also for count the sales. They also use the Word to keep every receipt for the purchase of goods. For the purchase of wet and dry goods, they make a payment by cash. Purchase was made when the items are out of stock. As I know, Aurora Coffee House will make financial statement every month by using the Excel, and at the same time they can know how their about sales performance every month and also every year.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Sitidamia binti Dahlan. So, I'm going to talk about the strength and the weaknesses of the recording process have been recorded by Amalina'Isyah. Based on the previous slide,
all the businesses have their own strengths. So same goes to Aurora Coffee House shop. They also have their own strength, and the strengths that I can see are they capable to make a comparison. Aurora Coffee House managed to make a comparison of sales profit based on their financial statements according to the current year. Secondly, it can be measured in monetary terms, that is in RM, Ringgit Malaysia. The monetary value is assumed to be stable and not affected by inflation. Thirdly, the economic activities can analyze the information diligently. For example, all the transactions that have been made either in cash purchases or cash receipt, they listed all of them in words to make things easy. Lastly, performance of the shop can increase by sales profit based on their financial statements. They can easily detect the trend nowadays by writing the financial performance in Excel.
What are their business weaknesses? Let's talk about it.
Aurora coffee shop house, they also have weakness, and the weakness that I can see that the information may have some errors because of unadjusted trial balance.
What errors? They did not do the proper financial statements such as financial position and statement of profit or loss. Secondly, items for inventory may be forgotten to list at the end of the year. They restocked the inventory items directly to the grocery shop by the end of the day and did not contact for any supplier. Lastly, the financial statement may not be recorded in a timely manner. So that's all from me and my groupmates video presentation about financial accounting and reporting of Aurora's Coffee House Shop. Thank you for lending your ears and attention. Have a good day. Bye.